Now, in the near term, it may be able to stay with its extant problem in the coming 3-4 years, because the degrading of its polity, of its uh, security situation, slowly it will take place. The
Yeah, it's not
defanging
like
of its
China.
defanging of its military and nukes would also occur gradually. जल्दबाजी में कोई नहीं करेगा ऐसा। कि जल्दबाजी करने जाओगे तो कोई न्यूक चोरी करके भाग भी जाएगा। So it will go slowly.
ये सीमोर हर्ष
And
ने बोला था सर
क्या
कि we in America think that we know quite a bit about Pakistan. The Pakistanis always joke about, you probably know every little weapon that is on the books, but you don't know about the two that are lying in the tall grass right next to the runway.
so वही है कि you have to do it in a gradual manner, and in the medium term, that is around 10 years as I see from now, Balochistan and KP would have gone. Balochistan and KP would have gone. And the gradual Somaliization of Pakistan would have started. It has already started, would start emanating in the face.
Hmm.
Because by then, if you have been able to do something in GB and POK, or rather whole of POK, then that becomes a disputed area. That is when you need to look at how to redraw the borders. Abhi mat karo. How you need to redraw the borders, because these situations are dynamic. Your redrawing also has to be in a gradual, phased manner, a step-by-step approach. If you are able to achieve the full redrawing what you wanted of a particular area, do it. If you're not, step-by-step approach mein karo na. Go the Chinese way. What he's trying in your LAC, salami slicing.
So I'd like to change the thoda sa. Salami slicing is
Uh,
too raw, sir. It's
okay.
polite. Inch forward.
Yeah. Keep stretching the envelope in your favor. So, but you have to remember, whatever is your final objective, what you want to achieve takes a long time. Look at Iraq. It's still work in progress, but those areas have been
They've
demarcated
readjusted.
and you have
Yeah,
understood कि ये ऐसे
they've
है, ये
readjusted.
शिया वाला है, ये सुन्नी वाला है, वो कुर्द वाला
Correct,
है.
correct,
Okay.
correct.
So you should use proxies to actualize this. Lessons from Iraq, Libya, Yemen, Syria, and now Ukraine. प्रॉक्सीज को इस्तेमाल करना है, आपने नहीं करना.
So what, sir? The definition of being a superpower is to have proxies?
Yeah, definition of a superpower is not that you're a proxy, that you
No,
can create all these problems.
to
Yeah,
have
you
proxies.
create you can create problems with your proxies.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
See, they have learned the lesson. First Iraq war, because it was UN mandated. They earned 15 at the end of the war. US was plus $59 billion. All the Gulf countries paid them money to execute that operation. $59 billion is what the Americans earned from the first Gulf War. By the time second Gulf War, they walked out from Iraq, they were minus $15 trillion. And by the time they have walked out of Syria and walked out of Afghanistan, they are minus $31 trillion. It doesn't work to put boots on your ground. When you're not being, there is no mandate and people are not ready to accept it. All people, like today, what is the lesson that they are drawing? If you just put on the map, ask for an image or a map on Google, nations that support and do not support the war in Ukraine, you will be
Oh,
amazed.
there's nothing.
90% of the known who are recognized as countries don't support the Ukraine.
It's just the North America, a little bit of Europe and Australia and Japan.
and their allies who are there. That's about all. So it's an eye opener, and that is why he hesitates to do that. But I'm sure at the end of Ukraine war, whichever way it ends, the military industrial complex of USA would have made billions of dollars. I'm not saying the government would have made. Now the military industrial complex would have made. So the retirement plans of a lot of politicians and State Department and military people will be in the military industrial complex.
I saw this guy who's the Lloyd Austin, right?
Hmm.
He
Yeah,
he was a director in Raytheon.
yeah. So he's come here, he'll go back. So we have to be very careful how we use the strategy while assisting USA for our own gains. There has to be a fair level of deniability available to what you're going to do. Because China is not going to like it one bit
Absolutely.
because it opens up three fronts for China:
Mhm.
Xinjiang front, your LAC, and its eastern sea. Because he is most scared that if you come into GB, you're going to give a free run to Athing to come into Xinjiang. And why won't I? Why won't I? You've been creating all problems for me in the northeast. They'll go through and say, yeah, there's so many valleys and so many this thing I can't control. I don't know. They must have come through Wakhan corridor. That is why on Tajikistan border at the Wakhan corridor, right next to where it is very close to its border with Afghanistan, but in Tajikistan, they have a post. The Chinese have a post to monitor whether Atim will use this route through Wakhan corridor to come.
Exactly. They actually made
Yeah.
there is a base, उन्होंने एक और base बनाया था, which is about 20 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken, 20 kilometers from north from the Wakhan corridor, somewhere in the center of the Wakhan corridor.
नहीं एक ही बनाया अभी तक तो
नहीं
what I
सर,
know
दूसरा
of.
बनाया है सर. They
हाँ,
made
बना
just
दिया है.
when Afghanistan was, हाँ, एक temporary base इन लोगों ने और बनाया है. एक जहाँ पर इनका base है ना, in that thin strip of land के ऊपर एक
हाँ
जहाँ
हाँ
पर
हाँ.
base है. Just 20 kilometers from this border, they've made another base. So
तो
it's
इतना कर
either
दो.
a forward outpost or something like that, but they've created something. This happened when the Americans went from.
Okay, okay,
हाँ जी,
okay.
हाँ जी.
So I think this is the end of the slides.
नहीं सर, एक और है.
एक और है, दिखा दो. Yeah, like the spoilers in this are China and Iran, and to some extent Afghanistan. Iran, because if Balochistan is to fructify in the manner in which the Americans are saying, just look at the amount of land which goes away from Afghanistan, because Kandahar के नीचे पूरा इलाका चला जाता है, and that is the गढ़ of Taliban.
जी.
So these will need to be worked up how. And China, of course, loss of CPEC and backlash in Xinjiang, like I said, opens a third front. Xinjiang, India, and Eastern Sea. दो फ्रंट संभाली नहीं जा रही, तीसरी फ्रंट कैसे संभाले? His whole deployment in Ladakh gets turned. अभी तो दो डिवीजन उसने सदर्न सिंकियांग से डाल रखे हैं. सिंकियांग मिलिट्री डिस्ट्रिक्ट हैज फोर डिविजन्स, टू टू द नॉर्थ इन उरुमची एंड टू टू द साउथ नियर खोतान. तो दो जो डिवीजन वहां के हैं वो लेके आया है यहाँ पे. द मोमेंट थिंग्स व्हाट्सअप इन सिंकियांग, तो ये भी चलेगा, फिर किसको लाएगा? Okay, so we have to do our net assessment. I keep harping again, but what we have to remember is the net assessment is not just blind copy of the Americans. We have to do a net, when we do the net assessment, we have to be very clear in the options that we are looking at. How does it impact our security? This is not worked out by the Americans because they're doing as an outlying island on the world island. It doesn't impact their security. It doesn't impact the continental security of America, whatever actions they're going to do there, except for what happened on 9/11. Otherwise, it
Hmm.
has no issue. It is not the case with us. So we have to look at our land, maritime, your aerospace, and internal security dynamics. Because these things can, if we are trying to do something, these things can also be activated from the other side. So how do you protect yourself? So your strategies have to, your core basic and your hedging strategies have to have these aspects fed in. That how do you defend yourself from these things? So ideal is Balochistan is independent, whatever it be, whether portions of Iran and Afghanistan are there with them or not. I'm sure the current Balochistan portion in Pakistan would be happy. Take away Sindh also at some later date should take away Sindh also from Pakistan and leave it as a rump state of West Pakistan.
West
That's
Punjab.
what you are. Yeah, that is West Punjab. That's what you
Then one
are.
can invite the Khalistanis, ये लो जी बन गया तुम्हारा
Yeah, yeah.
समझ लो
And give West Punjab to the Khalistanis and say, Khalistan, please,
ये लो जी cheers
please go, be happy.
capital is Lahore डंडे लगाओ
Yeah.
शुरू हो जाओ
Do नहाओ फूटो फलो. ठीक है. So this is what I had